Hi, boys and girls. I'm going to read you another book right now. Earlier, you may have read or listened to me reading a book called If You Were a Synonym. If you haven't watched it, maybe you can watch it after this one. Well, right now we're going to read a book called If You Were an Antonym and find out what antonyms mean. It is written by Nancy Loewen. That's the author. And illustrated by Sarah Gray. Sarah did the pictures. It is published by Picture Window Books. So let's read If You Were an Antonym. It gives a definition, antonym, a word that has the opposite meaning of another word. Looking for antonyms? Watch for the big, colorful words in the example sentences. So if you were an antonym, you might be early or late, or big or small. Those words mean the opposite of each other, don't they? Remember, synonyms meant the same. Well, antonyms are words that are opposite. If you were an antonym, you would be a word that means the opposite of another word. Opposite means to be completely different from something else. The room could be dark or light. You could be happy or sad. She's sad because she dropped her popcorn. If you were an antonym, you could be a complementary antonym. You would be all or nothing. You would either be one thing or the other. Your dad's radio is either on or off. If you flip a coin, you would get either heads or tails. There's no in-between on these types of antonyms. If you were an antonym, you could be a relational antonym. You would be in a pair with your opposite. You would have no meaning without your opposite. In order to be a student, you must have a teacher. In order to be a parent, you must have a child. I kind of chuckled at this a little bit because right now, your teachers are online reading to you in videos, and your moms and dads are helping be your teachers, but you're still a student. If you were an antonym, you could be a graded antonym. You could show how words are related. Empty and full are antonyms. They're complete opposites. But between empty and full are many possibilities. The cookie jar might be half full or nearly empty, just a couple left. The cookie jar might be almost full, just a couple taken out, or mostly empty. If you were an antonym, you could have a prefix. A prefix is added to the beginning of a word. Adding a prefix can completely change a word's meaning. Since, this is what pigs really do, wallow in mud, becomes nonsense. They can't fly. When, but she's lucky she won. It becomes unlucky when the wind steals it away. If you were an antonym, you could have a suffix. A suffix is added to the end of a word. Adding a suffix can also change a word's meaning. Hopeful becomes hopeless. He's hopeful that he can ride his bike because it's a beautiful sunny day. He's hopeless that he can ride his bike because it's a rainy, yucky day. Here we have an example of careful becomes careless. They're being very careful in there. They have the buckle on. This bottom one, they're being very careless. They don't have their buckle on. They're not paying attention, are they? So those mean different things. If you were an antonym, your opposite would be a synonym. Synonyms are words that mean the same thing. Sick and ill are synonyms. They mean the same thing. Sick and well are antonyms. They mean opposite things. If you were an antonym, you could be an auto-antonym. You would be a word that has two meanings that are opposite of each other. So the same word, like in this. A bill can be a piece of paper money, a $20 bill. A bill can also be a statement saying that you owe money. You owe $20, that $20 bill. So here, bill, you have money. Here, you owe money. You would always be an opposite if you were an antonym. Big and small. And just like the book on the synonyms that gave you a game to play, this one does too. It's called Anonym Antics. Cut out 30 squares of heavy paper. Just make sure you can't see through it. Next, write down 15 pairs of antonyms, one on each square. Now mix the cards up and place them face down on the flat surface. Just like memory, you've played that. Take turns flipping over the two cards. If the words are antonyms, you get to keep the pair and continue playing. So let's say you wrote down the antonyms big and small. Those are opposites, aren't they? And you've got them turned over, and you turn over, oh, I've got big. And you're lucky and you find small. Well, you just got that, and you can continue playing. But if they aren't, so let's say you turn over big and then you turn over light, well, they're not opposites. They're not even related, are they? You have to turn them back over and it goes to the next person. To figure out who wins, when all the cards are matched up, whoever has the most matches, they're the winner. Now, sometimes we don't have people to play with. People are busy or whatever. You can play this game by yourself. It's kind of cool. You can keep track of how long it takes you to make all the matches. And then play another time. Mix them back up, of course. Turn them back over. Try it again and see if you can beat your time. So those are a couple of different things. You could even do this with a synonym. You could do synonym games just the same. So if you like this idea, try it both ways. It says, and there's a fact here, let me share it with you. If you want to find an antonym, look at a thesaurus. You will see the abbreviation ANT next to it. The ANT stands for antonym. That's how the word begins, doesn't it? So remember, synonyms mean the same. Antonyms mean opposite. I always remembered the difference between the two, which word went with which, because I knew that synonym starts with s and same starts with s. So those go together. Synonym, same. Antonym, opposite, they don't sound the same. So if you can't remember what an antonym is, remember what a synonym is, and you know the opposite is an antonym. I hope you enjoyed the book, and if you haven't gone over and watched Mrs. Strayman's lesson on antonyms and synonyms, I'd encourage you to do so. She also has some games. She shows you how to play on there too, so you can have fun with this. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for all your hard work. Bye-bye, boys and girls.